it was published by the NDC. In fact, the NDC held a press conference about this yesterday. In the video, you find people, including the president, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, in his home, and Ambassador Jebewa, and a lady, and there's a conversation. Now, the NDC put this video across in support of their claim of corruption against the president. They're entitled to claim that. But the evidence that they adduced was this video. Okay, so eventually, the laptop of the author of the video has been collected. It was actually been seized. And surprisingly, on the laptop is another video. Really, the same video. The allegation here is that the video that came out first was doctored. Our responsibility and purpose for you tonight as media is to show you portions of both video. Show you the parts where the videos are different. And then we can isolate the areas that have been added or have been subtracted. You'll see it yourself because this is video. As they say, you can see it feely in black and white. And then after that, I'll make a little bit of a statement about these kinds of things. So on the screen that you see to my right, and that is to the left of your screen, is the video that the NDC have used for their press conference. Let's call it video A. And then behind me here is the other video, which is the original that was obtained from the laptop of the recorder. That is the person who recorded. We call that video B. And it's really the same thing, except that there are a few changes, and we will show you the changes. And then you can make it up yourself. So let's start watching video one, how both videos start the same way. Now, what we are trying to resolve is, what was this meeting about? On one side, the NDC says this meeting was about a gentleman who works at the urban roads at the Ministry of Roads, and that when President Akufo-Addo became president, this gentleman was worried that apparatchiks of the NPP were asking for his removal. And so he sent his wife to go see the president and hand over the president, the sworn-in president of Ghana, to be handed over 40,000 United States dollars so that he may keep his job. That's on the one hand. Now, the evidence obtained from the laptop of the recorder indicates something else. It indicates that this conversation was had before President Akufo-Addo became president, and whatever donation was given was a donation towards his campaign of 2016. We're going to juxtapose the two together, and then you can make your own decision, but we'll show you which parts have been changed. I was totally shocked when I saw this. I mean, I didn't know that this can happen in Ghana. I didn't know this can happen at the highest level of political debate. I didn't know this can happen at the highest level of the nobility of seeking political office in Ghana. After how many elections? 8 elections, 20-something years of democracy. This happens in the last days of campaign, and a press conference is conducted by a leading political party purporting a video to be correct. I don't know whether they did analyze it. So that's the video over there all the way. You can see it on my other video wall. Forget about the candidates for now. Let's see how that video starts. Have a look. Let's go. So the video starts, and you can hear the voices, people walking in. So they are introduced. Asenso comes into the office, and this is said to be when they were in power. So they are introduced, and they are walking into the president's study in his home at Nima, where he lived, where he has always lived. They walk into the office, and they take their seats. So they are welcomed into the office, and some of you watching me have been into this office before. Some of you journalists have interviewed the president in this office before. So they sit down, and pleasantries are exchanged. Let's listen. Okay, so we are listening to they talk about the reason why they are there.
You could director for urban roads. Transport ministry. Department of urban roads. They are only under Ministry of Transport. This is the opposite of highway. That's right. Yeah. And then civil servants or more efforts and kind.
And then once we are this month, we have realized that they are meeting the wrong people on
and of course, the first business is the number child and the assembly so
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I don't even know what to say. If I told me brain, and then maybe I'll let you do that.
Yeah, no. Maybe the Tona Canal de Moa. Yes, yeah, Mama Musia Fee. Videos be our training and military for into Your Excellency and the pay by a chronobonibia, a larger bus, and since some year antinenum. A month for Hana say you know office no your politics, and so on your politics on office or a civil servant. On the bonibia or hot down so, and so turn a month for time. I almost say, a baby now free home. Or say, Yamra, name a power chomano, and can cry a woman chill. Na no good to do ever form. Na tire more time or no. One more a ye, Nanso, a month for by a see a so first cabin real.
Okay, so you saw that. So they explained why they are there. Now, the first distinctions that we're going to show to you is that in the video that we're going to play, you will find that the persons came to the first president for two reasons. One, to make a donation to his campaign 2016, and the donation was in the form of cash and T-shirts. Regrettably, the issue of T-shirts is excluded from the other video, totally excluded, but we have hardcore evidence obtained from the laptop of the recorder that they actually brought in T-shirts. We will show that to you, and that will shock you. Okay, so let's play the video here. This then is the one that is obtained from the laptop of the recorder. It starts the same way. Let's have a look.
Papa, me work for them. I'm a very walker. I did, or you may not, I did, Okuhu and Tama. Senkana or a day T-shirts be a marker
all right, so you heard there that they talk about T-shirts and money, that they're going to be given T-shirts and money. Then you also heard the president ask about where the person works, because the lady is introduced as the wife of the man at Urban Rose. The president is asking, is Urban Rose Ministry of Transport? He's confirming. Is it Ministry of Transport? Actually, it's not Ministry of Transport, the Ministry of Roads. That is the first indication for anyone to suspect, or that's the second indication for anyone to suspect that the man speaking is not president of Ghana. He's probably campaigning for office. If you are president of Ghana, you will know that Urban Roads is Ministry of Roads, because he would have appointed a roads minister. He would have discussed with you who he wants to make in charge of Urban Roads. It's a high-profile position. He would have discussed with you. In fact, most likely the president will know him. So when you hear the president ask that question, is it Ministry of Transport? He's sort of writing it down. Let's bring that back. Let's bring that back. Have a look.
Transport Ministry. This is the opposite of the highway. That's right. Yeah. And then civil servants or more efforts and candy.
And then once we are the tomato, we have realized that they are okay. They're making the wrong people on it.
And of course, the first business is the number child now and the then the T-shirts and they will car. Okay.
So you heard the president ask the question, is that a Ministry of Transport? So he asked the question. Before then, you heard them say they are there for two things, to give T-shirts and to give money. Now, in the other video that is on this screen, which is what has been shown, which was what was applied at the NDC press conference, in that video over there, there is actually no mention of T-shirts. There's no mention of T-shirts at all, and there's no showing of the T-shirts. Now, the most important part of the video, the two videos, the most distinguishing part of the two videos is when the recorder goes out to go and bring a sample of the T-shirts that they have promised the president. The president asked the question. At that time, he wasn't president, of course. The MPP candidate, Nana Akufo-Addo, asked the question, and you brought me T-shirts as well. And they say, yes, we brought 1,000 T-shirts. Have a listen to this. Have a listen. This is the original video. This is not the one the NDC made a press conference about. This is the other one. Have a listen.
Oh, fantastic. And a T-shirt.
1,000 T-shirts.
Oh, fantastic. And a T-shirt.
1,000 T-shirts.
Now, is that not abundant, sufficient evidence that this conversation occurred before the man became president? He says that, and you are bringing me T-shirts. And they said, yes. How many T-shirts? He says 1,000 T-shirts. You heard that. He said 1,000 T-shirts. Why are you going to give a president who has been sworn in T-shirts in his home? Now, so this conversation occurred after the man has been sworn in as president, and it's occurring in his home. I believe that even before the swearing in, President Mahama had taken President Akufo-Addo around the Jubilee House. They have taken photographs and all of that. And that they were very accustomed to the Jubilee House. Straight from the swearing in, President Akufo-Addo started using the Jubilee House. We know that President Kufuor and others had used other places, but straight from 7 January 2017, he started using the Jubilee House. So if this conversation had occurred when he was president, it will occur in the Jubilee House. And why will a presidential conversation occur in Jubilee House after he's been sworn in? And he's talking about 1,000 T-shirts. This could be the most ridiculous of all political attempts to bring down a political opponent. It could be the most dastardly and the most ridiculous ever to have happened in the Fourth Republic. And it's painful that it's happening not in 1992, not in 1996, not in the year 2000. 20 years after the year 2000, technology has come, WhatsApp, Facebook, editing machines, everything. People can just look at a video and determine that it's been edited. 20 years after the turn of the century, Ghanaian politicians are taking us back to 1951, to communist inferior tactics, which was practiced during the Second World War. The Second World War ended in 1945. That is when they practiced communist inferior tactics. 1945, we stopped practicing communist inferior tactics. From the 1960s, American politics started going on television. From the 1970s, Ghana had television. From the year 2000, we have been seeing politics on television. From 2016, we have had a social media election. How many years from communist inferior tactics will a leading political party take us back to present a video with such ridicule and call it an evidence of corruption? Any politician can be corrupt, and we like to see the evidence of corruption because we don't want corrupt politicians. But is that the way to do it, to use something like that? I'm shocked. But you're going to see it. You will be shocked too. Okay, so now let's go to the part of the video where the conversation is on the T-shirt, and the recorder of the video, you know what he does? He says, can I go, he offers himself. He says, can I go to the car to bring you a copy of the T-shirt? Let's have a look at that. It will shock you. Have a look.
What is it? That's me. The T-shirt.
Yeah, you and Baumia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or should I go and bring two samples so that you see the samples?
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Especially for them.
Mr. Eugene, may you eat sample? Yeah,
It's open. No, I think it's a good
Oh, yeah. This is a nice one. Okay. And then there's a back one is there. Oh, yeah. This is solid. This is doing very well for us. I need these with me. That's the ambassador to the balance. They need these with me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's good, bro. It's really good.
Yeah, the tester, yeah. The quality.
I see.
Very nice indeed.
If you wear and then you stretch, there's holes.
Yeah.
They are around the cocoa board. Anointing or something 21st. That's yeah. They have a company. They have bought this fabric outside.
So you saw that? Wow. Did you say wow? I said wow. I don't know whether the leadership of the party, the NDC, have seen this one. But this is video. I didn't create it. This is video. And you see portions of it where the face of the guy shows a little bit because it shows in the screen of the car and all of that. You see that? So this is it. It was about T-shirts and a donation. And sometime in the video, even the one the NDC shows, the MPP candidate writes down the name of the person who is donating. He says, what name should I put to it? And now they have linked this to the urban roads guy who is still in office one way or the other. I don't know. He's still there. And they've linked it to the fact that he paid his way to be there, and therefore the president or the candidate at that time or the president is corrupt. I mean, how can you really do that? No one should forgive any politician who does that. They cannot be forgiven. How can they be forgiven? How can you be forgiven in favor of you, and you are telling us that the opponent is corrupt? You should tell us when your opponent is corrupt. You should. By all means, you should. But should you do it this way? This is evil. That doesn't make any sense. And it's taking our country back. We don't want this kind of politics. Let's play the politics. Accuse each other based on evidence. Show us. Politics is a competition of ideas. It is only the communist inferior tactics politics. That's not a competition of ideas. The youth want work to do. The youth want education. The youth want jobs. They want to know the record of the party that is coming in power if they have been in power before. They need to know the record. That's what you should tell us 4 days to election. But you come and tell us that, oh, the guy is corrupt and he took money. He's very, very corrupt. When he was president, somebody bribed him. And the evidence you provide is this kind of evidence. I'm sure the National Media Commission will have something to say about it. Okay, so you have seen the T-shirts bit. You've seen it. Let's now look at one last part before I bring in the expert. So you're going to see that in the video, in the one the NDC used, the MPP candidate is addressed by the recorder as Nana. That's what he says. He said, Nana, you remember that I came to you some time ago in the company of Amabuzia. I showed you some videos trying to introduce himself. The lady says that this man led me here. So he says, Nana. Then in the doctored one, he still says Nana. Then in the next paragraph, he says, Your Excellency. So the voiceover at the back, it says Nana. Then it says, Your Excellency. So the original one is Nana. There's no Your Excellency because at that time, he wasn't Your Excellency. He was campaigning. It's sometime in August. It says Nana, and then he adds Your Excellency. That's terrible. That's really, it wasn't a good job. I mean, we all do editing. It was a very terrible job. Very, very bad. But when you are doing evil and you are with the devil, you will do a terrible job. Because evil will never triumph over good. Evil, it can never ever triumph over good. Not in Ghana, not in Nigeria, not in the hemisphere, not on the equator. Evil will never ever triumph over good. So you will make mistakes like that and make a fool of yourself. That's what has happened. You make mistakes and you make a fool of yourself because you are perpetrating evil and it cannot triumph over good. Good will always triumph over evil. Go and read Revelation chapter 4. You will see that good will always triumph over evil. Okay. Now, listen to that. Listen to the Nana part and you will see it.
Yeah. I'm so excited. I don't even know what to say. If I told me brain, I didn't buy it. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, Nana. I'm saying, I'm ready. Mini, the Tana Canal de Moi. Yes, yeah, Mama Buzia Fee. I'm videos, be our training, and have military for. Since then, no. yeah, and say workload in our city. Obama money for the year or Mobuana de Adeno and Medru, who's so when I miss no, young Comama ho, and Cobona money, Ebia, don't say or Muya Diano. I say Ebia proposals be or Nimna de Adena, Yaman Kitibia, he said, Person should be bois. Boy, Amania, and say the soup. Now, Mwaka cry a bit at the Abuano, Nayabua.
You heard what Kweku Bako said about him. Maybe we'll show it to you at the end of the video, but I really don't know why people do that. And I've always made the point about journalism. I'll make the point when we finish. Now, though, I have the experts with me. What's your name, sir?
My name is Addo.
Addo is the expert in technology. What's your background?
So my expertise in multimedia and then security systems. I have done this way back in America, and I'm doing it here too. I've done it with a lot of stations, actually.
Okay.
So
yes. What did you study?
So I did multimedia and then security systems.
Okay. Well, so we caught up with him because when we grabbed the scoop, we were told that he was the one who identified, looking at the video and saw the parts that they doctored and all that. So how did you see it? What skill did you use?
Paul, before I even come to this, let me really say a very big thank you for the explanation. You did a very wonderful breakdown. I'm sure the ordinary Kayayo on the street will understand and now can actually make meaning of the two videos. But let me also warn you that your narration in the beginning can also be doctored to be a confirmation of what is already going on. Mm-hmm. Because you kind of did a genuine work of trying to narrate what the NDC is pushing the doctored video to be. Mm-hmm. And constantly you were trying to be consistent without putting in phrases and clauses that will make it look like that is what somebody is saying. Yeah. So you did a wonderful job, and also you did a contrast. If I cut those pieces, I can actually put in a good video to make it look like Paul is confirming or reaffirming.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. That's what the technology can do.
Yeah, technology right now has become, I don't know the word to use. You know, this was done to Obama. Yes, he had a face change, a lip sync, and even all that done. But with technology right now, you can detect. When I was giving the first video, I mean, my team and I were like, okay, but this is simple. This is something we can actually figure out. Within an hour or so, we could tell where has been cut. And there are a couple of softwares you can use to detect doctored videos and audios lately, because it's been one too many times that people have been using this against others, not even for presidential candidates like this, which is very special and very important, but also in other cases where people don't really know much about technology, and the ones who have upper hands use it against the others. So I can give you a free software. There are others that are very sophisticated, but III, for instance, is a basic one.
It's called III.
III. Mm-hmm. So the word III. You can download III and use it.
Oh, and III means it has 3 eyes.
Exactly.
So you can tell
the first, the second, and who is the third one.
Okay.
And then when you put your videos in, like you're seeing on your screen right now, it tells you the frequencies, the video images, and where has been cut out and where has been replaced and what is missing and what is added. Because III basically synchronizes various videos and audios, and then they play it in one synchronized form for you. So now when it gets a part that has been cut out from the original, it shows you a gap, or it gives you color coding that you can interpret. And now when you do a voiceover, you actually can tell from the frequency or the wave that the ambience, the technicalities, where it was recorded, even the gadget that was used can come out.
So you can tell that the voiceover has been added onto it. It was not original.
It wasn't original. So like what you're seeing right now on your screen.
So in the video where he says, in the original it says Nana, and in the other one he says Nana, then he says Your Excellency. Mm-hmm. You can tell that this Your Excellency is new.
Exactly, because the software, for instance, can tell you what the room ambience or what the room frequency is. And then, unfortunately for the person ducting the tape, he couldn't get access to do his voiceover in the same room. Now, this studio, we're getting different ambience, different width and length on our audio recordings, the same as the picture, because of the amount of light and the type of cameras we're using. If you go to your office where we were earlier on having tea and record the same thing, it will come different. Now, let me draw the attention of viewers to where he started saying, Your Excellency. When you look at it closely from the original, there is some kind of change in the theme and the temperature of the video. It became a little bit darker. It became more detailed. And when you use video or forensic video enhancers, it kind of clears all this for you to see where there was an addition or where it's been edited out. So that's what we did. Within like an hour or two, we were able to figure all this out, and it was funny. But I didn't expect a big political party like the biggest opposition party in Ghana to use this against the opponent, because this could be fished out by any multimedia class way back in Oregon, like first year multimedia class can actually figure this out.
Okay, so you heard that. Those of you who have done multimedia, etc., etc. There's another part of the video I didn't talk about. Maybe we can just look at it. You see where the president says, we don't need to see the video, we just see the Ghana web story. He said his brother is Springbed now because the person's photograph was in the president's office as candidate in his house in Nima. The photograph was there. Then it was said that the president said the one who has just become Pingbe now. Have a look at this Ghana web story and when the Pingbe now was made. This is August 2016, quite clearly. August 2016, the election had not even occurred. So how is anybody going to say that? There's also been concerns and stories about Angela Merkel's photograph in the president's office in the video. But in that Angela Merkel photograph, there's another person. I'm sorry to remind his family and his party and his friends like me of pain. Jacob Echebelamte, our late fallen comrade, Jacob Echebelamte, is also in the video. When did Jacob Echebelamte pass? Echebelamte is standing there in the video with Angela Merkel in the photograph. President Akufo-Addo, Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, and Jacob Echebelamte in the video, and that is indicative of a time when Akufo-Addo had been sworn in as president. I just can't understand this. This cannot be. This cannot be. Anyway, okay. Thank you, boss. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
But I would like to add something. I mean,
yes,
if I am permitted.
quickly.
You know, you made mention of evil not triumphing over good.
Yeah.
I will attribute that also to the late Jerry John Rawlings. But I will ask, what is the use of the Bible after Judgment Day? Because if you claim you donate 1,000 T-shirts to a sworn-in president, what is he going to use it for? Now, in part of our trying to regroup the video, we realized that the T-shirts were actually branded Arise for Change 2016, and it's highlighted in the video. And also, you can tell that the amount wasn't mentioned in the original video, but in the doctored one, he clearly mentioned 40,000.
Okay, in the original video it says 40,000.
Yes.
In the doctored one it says $40,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We get it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul.
Okay.
And,
excellent. Okay, so now what statements can I make? You see, I've been saying for a very long time, viewers, that journalism is not about hiding camera and catching people. You know, today there's been a major Supreme Court decision. I'll deal with it tomorrow. The Supreme Court has ruled something about Domelevo. I will come and deal with it tomorrow because I want to access the ruling of the court and the reasons that was given by the Apex Court and what they said about the investigations that were conducted by Domelevo. Wait for that tomorrow, 9 o'clock. It's coming. Major Domelevo on trial. Tomorrow, that's coming because today the Supreme Court has ruled. And I've been saying all the time, journalism is not macho, my record deal, irrecordable, macho, me the camera see. No, journalism is an intellectual exercise. It is an intellectual exercise. You know the kind of things we do here. We've been doing it for a long time. We have never been sued. Whilst we say that to the glory of God, it is also part of the hard work we do. So you can say anything about the work we do. I mean, when we do these works, it goes against some party or the other. Sometimes the party people are unhappy. We are sorry about that if you're unhappy. But we have to do the work. So when we put President Akufo-Addo's response here against Martin Amidu, and we say to Martin Amidu that you have violated all the time pattern, there's nothing he can say. We do hard work and we put it out in such a way that there's nothing you can say about our work. If you are a journalist, make sure that when you put out your work, controversial as it may be, no one should be able to hold a candle to it and say that what you've done is intellectually wrong or that what you've done lacks research. That should never happen to you as a journalist. I'm talking to everybody who wants to be a journalist. That should never happen. So when we put stuff up here, the people go on social media and they talk stomach journalist, and you're a foolish boy, and go and pass your law school exam. You can say all that, but you can't say that the work was wrong. You can't say that. Nobody can say the work we've done is wrong. All the editorials we have done, no one can say that the work is wrong because we do hard research work and we bring you the intellectual sophistication of our presentation. That's what journalism is about. It's not about, I had a camera in my pocket and so when you were talking, I recorded it, so come and pay me 500 cedis. Otherwise, I will put the recording on Ghana Web. That's crass. That's foolishness. Don't do that kind of journalism. Get the journalism right. Put out information. It may go against some people, of course. If we analyze certain things, it goes against